In the Scout Oath, the young scout promises upon his honor to do his best to his duty, first to God and his country. Second, to other people by helping them at all times. And third, to himself, by keeping himself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. You see how the light from the spirit of scouting is now beginning to grow and become brighter.
Thank you, Parth. Now imagine in the distance, if you will, the looming, hazy outline of a great summit flanked by two lesser peaks. That summit represents to us today the Eagle rank. The lower peaks represent the ranks of life and star, milestones on the path to Eagle, significant in their own right, but not our destination. To the new scout, these peaks are far, far away, and with some lower foothills to clear before the peaks themselves. But they will come a lot closer as the light from the spirit of scouting continues to spread. Parth will now address each rank a scout passes through on the trail to Eagle.
Earning the Scout Badge is the first step in Boy Scouts. A Scout can show the Scout sign, salute, and handshake. He has learned to tie a square knot, and he agrees to live by the Scout Oath, law, motto, and slogan. Having earned this patch, he is officially a Boy Scout. The Tenderfoot Badge is the first true rank a Scout receives. It stands at the foot of the Eagle Trail. Once inspired by the spirit of scouting, he will not stay a tenderfoot for long. Putting a few simple achievements behind him, he will shortly climb to the rank of second class. The requirements for second class become more difficult. A scout must learn to be self-sufficient in the outdoors and continue to render service to others. Now, the scout is ready for the challenge to attain first class. Although the requirements become more difficult, he keeps climbing until finally comes a day when he tops the first low summit along the Eagle Trail. There, he receives his first class badge and is ready to be a leader in the troop, to teach skills to younger scouts, and to participate in high adventure outings. A broad field of merit badges awaits the first class scout. More than 100 merit badges guide the scout to explore careers, hobbies, and interests. The scout needs but a total of 6 to conquer the Star Scout Summit. Probably a lot sooner than he thought possible, the scout finds himself standing on Star Ridge. Thus, through leadership, service, and achievement, he conquers the first of 3 great peaks on the Eagle Trail. The trail to the next summit, Life Scout Peak, is not easy. There is leadership to demonstrate, service to others, and plenty of hard work. In mastering 5 additional merit badges and helping fellow scouts. The higher the scout climbs, the fewer travelers he meets along the trail. Yet there are no impossible barriers along the way. This Life Scout's goal can be achieved, but it takes real effort. While the rank of Life Scout is a coveted one, and valued by all who obtain it, the Eagle Trail does not end there. It leads on toward a higher summit. The pathway narrows and steepens considerably as it winds along ledges of personal achievement and mountain pastures of troop accomplishment. Mile by mile, the trail becomes more trying. Many challenges must be conquered in these last miles. The before the highest summit along the Eagle Trail can be completed, additional merit badges must be earned. Some of them are very difficult, and leadership and service to others are not forgotten. And then there is the Eagle Project, where his planning and leadership produces a result far beyond what he could do by himself. Only with the greatest persistence and courage can the scout gain the thrill of victory that comes while looking back down the trail from the very top of the Eagle Summit.
Thank you, Parth and Parker. We can bring the house lights back up now. As you can see, one Scout rank candle remains unlit. And this afternoon, Victor, Ian, Derek, and Carter will take their final steps along the trail to Eagle to light that final candle. Before they do that, I would like to comment on the significance of the Eagle rank. The Eagle Scout Award is Scouting's highest rank and probably its most familiar icon. Men who have earned it count it among their most treasured possessions. I know that I do. Americans from all walks of life know that being an Eagle Scout is a great honor, even if they don't know just what it takes to earn it. The fact that a young man is an Eagle Scout has always carried with it a special significance, not only in scouting, but also in higher education, the military, the professional world, and the world of community service. The Eagle Award is a performance-based achievement calling on commitment, leadership, and service. The award is far more than a badge. It's a state of being. You are an Eagle Scout. We don't use the past tense. You may have received the badge as a boy, but you continue to earn it every day as a man. In the words of the Eagle Scout promise, you do your best each day to make your rank and your influence count strongly for better scouting and for better citizenship in your troop, in your community, and in your contacts with other people. The first Eagle Scout rank was awarded in 1912 to young Arthur Eldred of Rockville Center, New York. There are many notable Eagle Scouts who have followed in Arthur Eldred's footsteps. Some 2.7 million young men, actually, and I'll tell you about a few. But first, I'd like to point to a few past Boy Scouts who have spoken eloquently about Scouting's influence on them, even though they did not make it to Eagle. Henry Aaron, baseball's home run champion for many years, described Boy Scouts as having been the single greatest positive influence in his life. The singer Jimmy Buffett made it to life, and he has commented publicly about how he still has and occasionally uses the first aid skills he learned as a Boy Scout. Bill Gates, the founder of Microsoft, also made it to life, but not to Eagle. As an adult, he has supported, and at times he has publicly challenged, Scouting. He received the BSA Silver Buffalo Award for his philanthropic work. Tommy Lasorda, the longtime manager of the Los Angeles Dodgers baseball team, quoted the Scout Oath and the Scout Law from memory to a reporter at age 78. But he didn't make it to Eagle either. According to one source that I found, there have been 320 NASA astronauts. Of them, 181 were Scouts, close to 60%. But only 18 made it to Eagle. Pardon me, 38. I misread that. Of the 535 members of the 113th Congress, 191 were Boy Scouts. That's less than half, closer to 40%. Of the Scouts, 28 made Eagle. The current Speaker of the House, Paul Ryan, was a Boy Scout, but he did not make Eagle. Interestingly, my sources also tallied participation of congressmen and congresswomen as adult scouting volunteers. There are 57 scouting volunteers in Congress. Joe Biden, our Vice President, also served as a scouting volunteer. Both the Astronaut Corps and the Congress have a higher than usual incidence of former scouts, and they both have many more Eagles than one would normally expect in a group in society. Now let me single out just a few prominent scouts, Eagle Scouts. As noted, many astronauts were Eagle Scouts. You remember the movie Apollo 13? I'm seeing a few nods at least. It was about the lunar mission that suffered an explosion mid-flight and had to limp back home. Well, James Lovell, he was played by Tom Hanks in the movie. He was an Eagle Scout. And does that come as any surprise to those of you who know the story or have seen the movie? One can argue that Lovell personified our motto, be prepared. We can also give him full credit for at least one point in the Scout law, brave. There are many former Scouts in the entertainment world. Steven Spielberg is an Eagle Scout. He famously got his professional start by earning the Photography Merit Badge as a boy. Years later, as an adult, he helped the Boy Scouts of America to craft the requirements for the new Cinematography Merit Badge that was introduced in the 80s. And I'll note here as an aside that the actor Harrison Ford made it to life as a Boy Scout. He was even a summer camp counselor for the Reptile Study Merit Badge, which is a little bit hard to believe if you remember Indiana Jones's well-known fear of snakes. In fact, Indiana Jones is depicted in one of those movies as a life scout. That's an homage that Spielberg made to Harrison Ford's rank as a scout. Gerald Ford was not the first president who was a Boy Scout. That honor goes to John F. Kennedy. But JFK didn't make Eagle. Ford did. Many years later, he said, "One of the proudest moments of my life came in the Court of Honor when I was awarded the Eagle Scout badge. I still have that badge. It is a treasured possession." President Ford died in 2006, and per his request, Boy Scouts figured heavily in the funeral arrangements. Eagle Scouts escorted visiting diplomats from around the world at the funeral service at Washington's National Cathedral. And 200 Eagles were requested to serve as the honor guard for his casket when he was laid to rest in Grand Rapids, Michigan. 400 Eagles came out to fill that role. These men, Jim Lovell, Steven Spielberg, Gerald Ford, they did the same things that Victor, Ian, Derek, and Carter did in their 7 scouting years. Sleeping in tents, climbing mountains, learning first aid, helping others, becoming leaders. Regardless of his specialty, the Eagle Scout is a special person. Will all Eagle Scouts in attendance today please stand to be recognized? If you would please, introduce yourself and tell us when and where you earned your start at the front with you, Josefa. We'll work our way back and down the other side.
Troop 79, June of 2015.
James Slaughter, Troop 48, Winfield, Mass. Summer. Adam Yee, June 2015, Troop 79, Andover. Paul Neely, Troop 79, September 1978.
Ed Hunt, Troop 7, North Haven, 1978.
Ben Hunt, Troop 79, June 2015. Steve Hathaway, Troop 119, Lexington, Massachusetts, 1976. John Bartoshi, June 2015, Troop 69. Dan Zavier, Troop 728, July 2013.
Dave Rickers, Troop 735, Ripon, Wisconsin, 1983.
Joseph McCain, Troop 79, 2009.
Pete Down, Troop 35, Baltimore, 1969. Chris Potts, Troop 79, Winchester, Mass. May 1980. David Hector, Troop 602, Bellevue, Washington, 1972. George Nicolakakis, Troop 79, Andover, June 2015. Jeffrey Bignell, Troop 79, July 2015. Larry O'Neill, Troop 19, Weymouth, Massachusetts, July 1985. Steve Roderi, Troop 19, Weymouth, in November 2013.
Caleb Jones, Troop 79, June 2015. Paul Fleury, Troop 79, May of 2014.
Thank you, gentlemen. I'll wrap this up by reintroducing myself. I'm Tom Davis. My Eagle Pin was awarded in April of 1979. I'm a proud son of Troop 920 in Houston, Texas.